You got 2 minutes, what? Okay, no problem. I will. Okay, love you too. All right, bye.
Yes, she is. Yeah. I think I've got a lot of it covered by, and Tiffany will be here for ESSER.
The reports here
They're all being done by people. Right. I can introduce them, or you can. You know, I can do it. I'll introduce them. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll do it. Yeah.
Is Kurt here? Is Kurt here? Go down.
On vacation. Audrey's going to fill in.
Okay.
I think I got everything covered.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
If I make a mistake, it's rookie, right? Get one rookie.
Yeah. Yeah. We're good.
We're ready.
Okay, it is 7 o'clock, and I would like to call this meeting to order. If everyone would please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. My name is Don Lips, and I am the president of the school board. And on behalf of the school board and our administration, I would like to welcome you to the July 15th school board meeting. We thank you for being in attendance here this evening and for showing some interest in MSD of Martinsville. This meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Opportunities for participation will be permitted in accordance with policy B250. The first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The consent agenda, for those of you out there, includes payroll claims, the payroll report, certified and non-certified personnel report. The board members received this packet of information several days prior to this meeting, so we have plenty of time to go over this and ask questions that might need to be asked. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Student field trips, I don't believe that we have any, do we, Dr. Roberson?
No.
Okay, there are no student field trips requests at this time. Next item on the agenda is the report section, and I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Roberson.
Okay, first, we have the ESSER III. The corporation's already received the CARES Act, which many people call ESSER I, and ESSER II. ESSER III should have already been turned in previously, but it wasn't. The state did give us an extension, and Tiffany, who is our Title I expert, is working on that. And Tiffany will answer any questions anybody has. We want board and community input. I will tell you that basically what it is indoor air quality, HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning. We're looking at Wood Middle School, some stipends for some like ECA, some equipment, that type of thing. Doesn't require a vote. It's an informational thing.
Any board members have any questions? Okay.
Okay, I got one thing right. Curriculum Instruction Assessment Report, Mrs. Staley is here.
I'm Renee Staley, the Director of Special Services, and I was just asked to give a report on some of the cool things that we've been doing in the district this summer with summer school. So we had an opportunity to offer a couple new options for our summer programming. First, we had the RD summer program that was two-week sessions of engaging, fun, interactive lessons led by our amazing teaching staff. The first session was held on June the 7th through the 10th and June 14th through the 17th. We had 7 teachers that offered a variety of sessions for all grade levels. Some of those names included, one of my favorites is Welcome to the World of Elephant and Piggy Fun. Lots of really cool activities for the students. So on average, we had 75 students in attendance each day, and transportation was offered, and Mr. Mills and 22 drivers transported an average of 28 students for the program each day. Session 2 will be held July 19th through the 20th, so next week, and July 26th through the 29th. We currently have over 75 students scheduled to attend 7 different sessions. So our teachers and our non-certified staff members led all of these sessions. Secondly, we had 125 of our students with special needs that were receiving remediation by our talented special education teachers and instructional assistants. The students are working on skills that are specific to their needs and their individual education program to help them get off to a great start to this next school year. We had several positive emails and phone calls. Mrs. Van Devender gave me those, and it was kind of fun to read. So one parent said, "Thank you all so much. We hope you guys do it again next year. My 5-year-old sure enjoyed the first session. I enjoyed a wonderful first day. My kiddos are in the first session, and they're looking forward to session 2. So on behalf of the MSD of Martinsville, we'd just like to thank our teachers for sharing their time and talents this summer to prepare our students for the coming year, giving them something fun to do and get back into school. And also thank you to our parents for taking the time in the busy summer schedules to get the kids here so that we can work with your kids. So thank you. Oh, I guess questions. I need to say that.
Any questions, comments? It's a report, not something to vote on.
Thank you.
Hardee's Food Service Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, Audrey Jackson. You're on deck 2 for the next.
I am for the next 3. Mr. Bodell is on vacation, so I am filling in for him. As long as I don't have to cook, we are good. But in partnership with Ryan Cox, Melody Meyer, and Leslie Arthur, the Food Service Department is excited to share that Paragon Elementary and South Elementary School Communication has been awarded the USDA Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program for the upcoming school year. This USDA program offers a unique opportunity to broaden the palates of your students by introducing them to a wide variety of fresh fruits and vegetables, ultimately impacting their nutrition and well-being. The total amount of this grant for the MSD of Martinsville is $26,625,000. comments?
A lot of fruits and veggies.
I know. I have to visit them. On to the summer meals program update. During the month of June, the food service department served over 14,000 meals through their summer meal program. This program offers meals to children when school is not in session. It currently operates once a week at Bell, Green, Brooklyn, and Paragon, and daily at both Martinsville High School and at Barbara B. Jordan YMCA. The food service department is excited to continue to support this program through the month of July, and additional information can be found at www.artiescafe.org. And I helped with that today, and it was seamless. So anybody who has not signed up should definitely do so. Questions with that? All right, on to the enrollment. Currently, our kindergarten enrollment for next year is 261 students. We have 157 students that are new and returning student applications. Of those, 76 students had the legal MSD Corporation of Martinsville last year. So they're coming, meaning they were living in our corporation, were not attending one of our schools last year. Of those 76, 33 were attending an online or charter school, 13 were attending another corporation, 6 were attending a private school, and 24 were attending homeschool. Early enrollment report for next year as far as student numbers, we have 3,831 students. That is not counting 49 students with the application pending. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Audrey. Okay, next item on the agenda is the action items. And the first thing on the agenda is the interim superintendent contract. So could we have a motion on the floor to accept the interim superintendent contract for Dr. Roberson?
I move that we accept the interim superintendent contract for Roberson.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Is there any questions or is there any discussion? Okay, then I'd like to, since we have a motion and we have a second, would like to vote on this. All in favor of accepting the superintendent contract signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-1. I'd like to, before we move on here, I would like to just welcome Dr. Roberson. I believe if you came in on the table up front, there's a little bit of a bio on Dr. Roberson and his experience. Dr. Roberson is a Morgan County person. He is probably, well, we'll just call him experienced. He kind of told me that and used that word earlier today. But he has actually looked through education in every lens that there is. He is a former teacher. He is a former principal. He's a former assistant superintendent. And he is a former superintendent. He teaches classes and has taught classes at the collegiate level for those aspiring to be administrators. And he has, again, lived in Morgan County his entire life. We very much appreciate, Dr. Roberson, your willingness to come here and guide us through this time as we go through our process of filling this position permanently. So again, on behalf of not just our school district, but on the community of Martinsville, I would like to welcome you to our district. And now we're going to put you to work again. You're officially signed up now, so we will move on to the next action item that we have.
Okay, it's a approval to publish a notice to taxpayers for a 2021 debt service additional appropriation. What that is, there was a bond issue in 2020 that should have been paid and wasn't. So we had to pay it out of the 2022 budget. The lucky thing was, or 2021, I'm sorry, budget. The lucky thing was we had enough cash, but we didn't have enough appropriation. The bond was $385,000. With cash, we can pay all of it, but there's $61,650 that we don't have permission from the state of Indiana to spend. So that's an appropriation. Appropriation is the state saying you can spend the money. You can have all the cash, you can have $10 million, but you can't spend it unless the state allows you to spend it. So we will advertise that. I'm asking the board to vote to advertise that in the paper, and at the August meeting, we'll have a hearing. And hopefully everything will go smooth because we need to pay the debt. Once again, we have the cash. We just didn't have all the appropriation. We did get it down from 385,000 to 61,650. Something I don't like to do, something I've never had to do, but we have no choice because it wasn't paid in 2020. So that's, I'm asking for permission to advertise.
There's no questions from the audience. That's the procedure here of our bylaws. You can ask a question at the end of the meeting, but at this time, we cannot ask questions. So do we have the motion?
I make a motion to publish the notice.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor of the approval of the publish of the notice signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, the 2022 Martinsville High School student fees, they were tabled in June. And I'm not sure why, but in the past, the way that's happened is that the parent pays $20 of the $100 fee and the school picks up the $80. I am making a recommendation to the board. We continue that the parents will pay $20 and then we pay $80 out of textbook rental.
For just the online, right? You're not talking every
Right.
single,
No,
okay. I'm just clarifying. I didn't
Right.
want parents to think they were paying $20
Right.
for each course.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
That's what I
Trimester.
would have thought.
Trimester would be, that's what I should have said.
but just for the online.
But just
that's
for the
correct.
online, yes,
That's correct.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, the fees have always been 20.
Mhm.
We don't know why, but in the handbook, it was raised to $100 per trimester. And that's why we tabled it at the last meeting.
Yeah. And just to clarify, that is for American Sign Language, Ethnic Studies, and Indiana Studies. It involved those three classes. So that was why it was tabled initially, so.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the Martinsville High School student fees as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve the Martinsville High School student fees.
I second it.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Okay, you received a few minor changes to handbooks at the elementary student handbook, the Bell Intermediate Academy student handbook, John R. Wooden student handbook, and Martinsville High School student handbook. Unless you have any particular questions on that, I would recommend you just do that in one motion.
Okay. Anybody like to make a motion that we approve all the handbooks?
I make a motion that we approve all handbooks.
I second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any questions? Any comments? Okay, all in favor of the approval of the student handbook for elementary, for Bell Intermediate, for John Wooden, and for Martinsville High School, signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Artesian's online grades K to 6, 2021, 2022, that was withdrawn in June. What would be the pleasure of the board?
I mean, I personally feel we need some numbers. The numbers really don't warrant maybe looking at that right now. So I would make a motion to table that at this time.
I agree.
Okay. That doesn't require a vote, does it, Dr. Roberson, or should we vote on the tabling?
Did I skip up on one?
That one, and that's good.
Do we need to vote on tabling?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to table the Artesian online for K through 6?
I move that we table the Artesian Online K through 6.
Second?
I second that.
Okay, it's been motion and seconded. All in favor of tabling Artesian Online K through 6, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Non-certified handbook 2021-2022, I believe was tabled at the last meeting. I would recommend approving it. That's a 25-cent hourly rate increase for non-certified.
Okay,
I recommend that we approve the non-certified handbook.
Second it.
okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Substitute teacher handbook, there's the change is a $5 daily rate increase. I would recommend approving.
I make the motion that we approve the substitute teacher handbook.
Second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Is there any thought on the board on the stipend for the long-term subs? For the incentive after the 15-day?
I don't think there was really time to consider that, how much you would want it to be.
Well, it'd be a standard amount each time. It wouldn't be a different amount because,
I mean, was
It's-
it a lump sum amount?
well, it's only certified. They get $80 a day. And then on day 16, they go into the first year teacher. So that's a set amount. It would be a set amount, and it'd only be for the long-term subs certified or the teaching license. I mean, it states in there that those that have the teaching license for long-term. It's hard for teachers to get those long-term subs. I just thought it would be an incentive. They go day 1 to day 15 on just a sub pay. And they have to do the lesson plan, they have to insert the grades. So it's more than just a day pay for them. They're doing everything that a teacher does from day 1. And even in the past, we've had some prepare them for ISTEP. So it was just gonna help teachers find long-term subs and then be a nice incentive for those that worked the long-term sub timeframe.
What amount of stipend were you recommending?
The amount, after I did the math, I believe, don't quote, but it was like 1905, but I rounded. Like I knew the 80, but the first year teacher, I believe it's like it's 29 and then some more. So it's roughly $1,905. And we're not talking hundreds of people.
And when would they receive that stipend? Would that
At
stipend?
the end of their long-term, like if there's maternity leave, it'd be at the end of or a FMLA leave, it would be at the end, is what I would suggest. I mean, that's the incentive, because that way a student isn't having to do subs all the time. It's an incentive for that person to stay for that long range of a time. That was just the thinking behind it.
And I agree with that, as long, we may want somebody to look at that, just because of Indiana code, it sets those
Right.
rates, the 15-day.
Right. They set that time frame.
Right, which I'm not asking to change that
Right.
at all. I'm not asking to change the law in any way, shape, or form.
No, but they set the amount. That you can't do the teacher pay for the first 15 days.
Right, which I'm not suggesting we do.
But it is legal to give them a stipend?
And just call it a stipend and not a back pay or anything like that.
You give a stipend. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And schools, and I don't know I don't know about here, but I've been at schools that play games with that 15 days. And before they get to the 15, they take them off. And then they start back at 1 and go up. And we don't want to do that. I don't think you need to pass anything. I need a superintendent to make sure that doesn't happen. In a pandemic, it was hard enough to get subs. Yeah. So it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's up to the board, but I don't know about the amount, but
Yeah, that amount should not be quoted. Like I said, I knew that might get asked. That's a rounded number.
you might want to table that and get a more accurate number. That's up to you.
I support the idea. I think it's good. I think it encourages people to do long-term subbing, and that's always good because we have a difficult time finding subs. We just want to make sure that we have the correct amount and the time frame. So.
And so what if, I mean, I know that the tier 1 for the retired teachers is 85. Would it help if we increase that a little bit for our retired teachers that come back and sub?
I mean, we used to.
They used
We
be
used to pay them $100.
Right.
Yeah,
That might help get subs as well.
Right.
So maybe table this and have it.
look at the rate.
Look at
of
it.
Yeah, I'll
that
bring something back
versus-
to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And bus drivers too, right, Dennis? Hard to get bus subs. Are they? Okay, well, there you go.
Leave that as well.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, Michelle, you want to make a motion then to table?
Yeah, yes. I would like to make a motion to table the non-certified, or I'm so sorry, the substitute teacher handbook.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, so the motion has been made and seconded to table the substitute teacher handbook. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, so motion carries to table.
Okay, Artesian Child Care Agreement. We have child care here, and there are some of our teachers, our staff that also use the child care. I spent some time in there, enjoyed it very much. I thought I was pretty important because as soon as I walked in, those little guys just all come, you know. I enjoyed it. I spent some time in there with them. I've been out on the playground with them. I think that the staff that works with them does a good job. They actually do work with them. I see the parents come in. They seem to really appreciate it. The kids seem happy when they come in and see their friends. It just seems like a pretty good program that I would recommend that you keep, contract that for another 6 months. I would hate to see that taken away from them.
Anyone like to make a motion to continue this contract for 6 more months?
I move that we continue the Artesian Child Care Agreement.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
2021 Education Foundation Grant recipients. It was tabled in June, and I think you may want to table it again. That's up to the board.
Oh, I think we had, there are several grants here that were sponsored by the Educational Foundation. It looks like I think we had 9 grants through different schools. There was one grant in particular at Poston Road that we were a little bit uncomfortable with. We've asked the principal for some explanations, and she is still doing further research. So I still think as a board, we are uncomfortable with that particular grant, but we're very comfortable with the other grants that we have here that have been presented. So it'd be my opinion here that we would go ahead and approve all of the grants except for the Poston Road grant, which is a global citizenship grant.
I'll move that we accept all the grants except the Poston Road grant.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve all the Educational Foundation grants for the schools except for the Poston Road grant. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
See, dual language immersion grant, $17,000 awarded to Poston Road. Don, I think you were going to address that. At least I have you down.
No, I don't have anything about that. I don't.
Okay, are we ready to
Yeah.
vote on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make
That's
the
only my
motion.
third mistake.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, the big one was saying Mooresville
I just
earlier.
don't want to get,
That's unacceptable.
I don't want to get to two hands. Three.
I'll make a motion that we approve the dual language immersion grant for Poston Road.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Do we have any discussion? All in favor of the dual language immersion grant for 17,000 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
H&R Block, $500 to MHS Cheer Spirit Shirts. I would recommend approval.
I make a motion to approve the H&R Block donation.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of accepting the H&R Block donation of $500 for Cheer Spirit shirts, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Morgan County Health Department, Steve Whitey is donating some safety goggles to the school district. Would recommend approval.
I'll make the motion that we approve the safety goggles donated by the Morgan County Health Department.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor of accepting the safety goggles from Steve Lyday, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I know that everybody's wondering about the school year. The Morgan County Superintendents will meet tomorrow with Steve Whitey, and we're going to have a Zoom meeting. We'll see what he has to say.
All right, next item on the agenda is public comments and announcements. At the completion of the school board regular business, a visitor who wishes to speak may do so at the discretion of the president. The visitor will be required to state his or her full name and will be given the opportunity to speak using the same guidelines that is used for agenda items, not to exceed 2 minutes for each person. It shall not be permissible to orally present or discuss complaints about individual employees of the MSD of Martinsville at any school board trustee meeting. Such charges or complaints against individuals shall be presented to the Board of School Trustees in writing and shall be signed by the person making the charge or the complaint. Boisterous conduct shall not be permitted at any meeting of the school board, nor will any defamatory or abusive remarks be tolerated. So at this time, do we have anyone that would like to speak or make an announcement here at the board meeting?
Thomas Tackett.
Thank you. My name is Thomas Tackett, citizen of this community for decades, combat veteran, businessman, and normally stay out of politics. But after observing what's happened politically on our scene to our nation, in our Washington, D.C., I come out of my slumber and thought, this isn't good. Our country's going in the wrong direction. Just recently, I've been advised that there's a program instituted in our local school system called Critical Race Theory, CRT. My question is perhaps directed to Mr. Lips. I know it was initiated some time ago. I don't know the time frame. So my question for you, sir, is this theory or this program still a part of our curriculum, sir?
It never has been.
Never has been?
That's correct.
Okay. That's contrary to what my information, but I'll take your word for it, sir. So there's no CRT in our school system. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I
Now,
appreciate,
there may be some teachings, there may be some curriculum that might be borderline or might be a part of that, but there is no critical race theory that's part of our curriculum. That is correct. So
okay,
if you give us,
borderline.
and you know, for the public, because we're getting a lot of questions on this, if you do have a question about a curriculum at a particular school, please let us know what school it is. Let us know what you are talking about, what part of that critical race theory you think is being taught. And then we will address that with the principal. There's a chain of command that we go through to investigate that. But that, you will not find that in any of our curriculum booklets.
I think you've answered my question. CRT as a program is, excuse me, is not a part of our curriculum, correct?
Correct.
You mentioned borderline, some subjects are borderline to the theory. I don't quite understand that, sir.
Yeah, and I don't understand the whole thing about CRT. I'm not sure anyone does. I'm just saying that you might interpret something that is being taught in our schools as part of that, or some kid may interpret that as part of that. So for us to answer specifically to you or to anyone out here in our audience what is being taught, please tell us what is being taught, what you consider to be something that would be offensive, and we will go directly to the principal and we will investigate that and we will find out.
I appreciate that, and I'm relieved. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your service.
Shelley Campbell.
Hi, I'm Shelley Campbell. I just wanted to follow up on something that I mentioned a couple board meetings ago about putting together a community resource team to support the school board and our community and looking into CRT and SEL. I know CRT is a subset of social emotional learning, and it's hard to know if it is in the curriculum. And the reason being is I've interviewed some kids, and I interviewed a student at a local store. He was a junior, and he said he had in his classroom a BLM poster, and he knew all of the political views of all his teachers. And I think sometimes when we identify CRT, critical race theory, there's 5 components to it, and they focus on the race, or the color of your skin. The melanin of your skin is the biggest deal to it. That's component 1. Component 2 of it is to stop communication. And so it bothers me a little bit that we have a consent agenda, because I want Martinsville to be an A school. I want them to be a school of choice. Those 76 kids that are gone, I want to know why they're gone. Because I live here, and most people buy and live here and move businesses here for schools. So I'm an advocate of what we're all trying to do. But I can't sit back and support any of this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the community resource team, put it together, and then when hard stuff comes across your desk as the board, such as a new curriculum or something of that nature, you would have community members volunteering their time and critiquing it and giving you feedback. And I think that that's going to be important. And I just want you to know we're out here, because we want to be an extension of the board. You guys have families, you have other lives, but again, if we're not flipping out good kids, productive kids, we're all in this together. And so we want to expand the vocation. We want to do some of these things. We want to be part of the solution and not the problem.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Shelley.
So I can't sit down and get back up again?
No.
Okay.
And just to be clear, just to make a statement for everyone, social emotional learning is not and probably never will be required by the state of Indiana. However, there are employability skills that are part of the Indiana state standards that we have to teach.
So mine is like, can I dialogue with her?
No.
Not really,
No.
that is our policy. Just want to make that statement because I think there's some confusion about the whole social emotional learning. And you can verify that with the Department of Education. To be specific, you could call Mrs. Lewis Truitt and she will tell you the exact same thing.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Barker, and sounds like I have a lot of learning to do. I have a first grader, and we are still somewhat new to the community. And I was curious with a interim superintendent and potentially a new superintendent, what your vision is, what you'd like to see happen going forward. Maybe opposed to what was in the past, but I'm more interested in your goals and visions for the future.
Okay. I would like to just take this opportunity to let everybody know that we have an executive session here this evening following this meeting where we will meet as a board to set our guidelines and to try to establish what our vision is going to be as we move forward with new leadership in our district. So this is a process. We've hired an interim superintendent here to guide us through this. The one nice thing about the interim superintendent, about Dr. Roberson, is he is not putting us on a time frame where we have to have someone hired here in 2 months, 2 weeks, in 3 months, so that we can take our time and do this correctly. But this whole process begins this evening in our executive session where we as a board can sit down and try to determine what our vision is, or what our vision is as we move forward. So that process is going to begin tonight. And obviously, we will put a timeline on all these different steps that we will go through, and we will make those known to the public.
Hi, my name's Tim Serber, and I just have a couple questions because I'm new to this program of figuring out how to work with boards. But it seems like the last 2 meetings I've been to, you guys vote on a lot of things that we know nothing about. So I guess on the consent agenda and also the superintendent's contract, it's voted on, but we don't know what you're voting on. We don't know anything about the contract. We don't know what's going on with it. Don't know anything what the payroll claims mean or consent, the certified personal report. Do you guys talk in meetings, decide what you're going to do, and then just come out here and vote for show? Or do we actually know what the content is of what's being voted on? Or is there a way to find out?
Our agendas are posted on our website prior to meetings, the entire agenda with supporting documents. So,
Board docs on our website.
So everything that you're going to vote on is
out there.
explained on the website.
Yes, sir.
And if there's some questions that you have on that, do you do it here, or do you get in touch with you individually or at the school board offices, I guess?
Either. If you have questions about an agenda item, you can ask it. And as Don stated, our policy, which hasn't always been in the past, is allowing you to address us right now. So.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ann Smith, and I'm here to say that, I'm retiring. I retired last month after 15 years of teaching, and I just wanted to express my gratitude and my appreciation to the board, to my former administrators, to the communities that have students that attend this district, all the staff, my coworkers, especially to my students, thousands over the years. I can get really emotional about it because it's been a wonderful experience. People say to me sometimes, well, what do you do? And I say, I'm a teacher. And they say, oh, what do you teach? I say, well, I teach English. They say, oh. And they say, what grade do you teach? I say, 8th grade. They say, oh. But 8th graders are delightful. I've worked with so many of you. I remember when Susie interviewed me, Mrs. Lips interviewed me 15 years ago. I had retired from New Jersey. My husband worked on Wall Street, and he retired after 9/11. We moved here. We chose this area. And I heard about an opening first after I went for an interview at Martinsville High School to sub and see what the district was like. And I walked in, and it was almost time for my interview. I start looking around, and I see academic decathlon champion. Oh, academic decathlon champion. And just one after another, I thought, wow, where am I? And then I did some substituting, and there was an opening at West Middle School mid-year, 8th grade English. So things happen for a reason. Anyway, 15 years later, wonderful experience. It's a great district. Are there problems? Yeah. You know, what are we teaching our kids? I hope you know. My expertise is grammar, mechanics, word usage. I'm not getting into politics. I want kids to be able to read and write. And yeah, those are the things that I think we need to be teaching. So this is a great district, and I thank everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ann. And congratulations again on a great career. We will miss you. Anyone else?
I'm Rachel Crabb. I'm a fourth grade teacher here in the district and also a mother. I have 4 children who all will be attending in the fall. And I just wanted to say thank you to you, Mrs. Smith. She taught my Jameson this year, and I get emotional about my babies. And she took such good care of him, and she called me personally, talked to me, helped me through some things we were having some issues with. And I just want to say thank you for your dedication.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, my baby's 21, and she also taught her. And we just want to say thank you for all that you've done for the corporation. You're one of a kind, truly. And I sincerely mean that.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Anyone else like to make a comment?
My name is Misty Bush, and I was just curious if the children are going to have to wear masks in school or get vaccinated.
Dr. Roberson, you want to field that one?
I don't see a mandate on vaccination. We'll find out about masks from the Board of Health. Nobody likes them. But I also believe in the rule of law. We'll follow what the law is, but I don't see vaccination being, I mean, I know they're doing that at Indiana University, and that's in a court right now. I don't see that being mandated. I'm hoping we can go back to school normally and have a normal school day and a normal school year. That's my hope.
We have made the statement several times that we as a district will not require students to wear masks unless we are mandated to do so by the Morgan County Health Department or the CDC. And we'll know more, as Dr. Roberson said, the county superintendents are meeting with the Morgan County Health Department tomorrow, so we might have a better feel for what they're going to ask us to do after tomorrow.
I'm the same Tim Serber that was up here earlier. Question is, on the masks for young kids, there's tons of studies that are proving that's very unhealthy for them, and a lot of diseases popping back because of it. So if there's a mandate from the state, is that something that you take into consideration, the other studies that are proving that the masks are actually harmful? Are you able to go against that mandate because of that very reason, or do you have to follow it? And if you don't get state money. I mean, I would think the health of the child is far more important than that mask in a disease that hardly any kids get and have issues with. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, next thing on the agenda, and again, thanks for all those that came up here and spoke this evening. Next thing on the agenda is the Dr. Roberson's comments.
Yeah, I want to thank the board and the community, the staff, the kids that I have an opportunity to serve. It's a great honor. It's a blessing. I didn't seek this. I've done it in 3 other school districts. I didn't seek it there either, but they needed some help to get through this period of time because the 3 folks left, and they had to have a superintendent. So I'm interim for 6 months, and I believe in servant leadership. If you read the book of Mark and the book of Matthew, it says that Jesus did not come to be served. He came to serve. And so I taught at Indiana Wesleyan University, a religious university, and I believe in that word. So I'm here to serve as long as the board wants me. If they tell me to go home, I'll go home. So I am married to my high school sweetheart. We dated in high school. We were engaged 2 years. We'll be married 53 years in August. We have 3 kids, 6 grandkids. I worry more about the grandkids than I think I did about my kids, because when you're younger, you're just, you get old, it's just the grandkids, it's an honor that so many schools, this is the 4th one, has asked me to come and help and to serve. I'm transparent. You may or may not like an answer, but anybody who wants to talk to me, ask me. I have no problem talking to anybody. I'm just transparent. I'll say what I think. You'll say what you think, and we'll shake hands and hopefully resolve it. So thank you again to the board for asking me to come. I will do the best I can to help guide through the search for the new administration. And that search is a part of my contract. It is no extra cost. I would tell you that my contract in every school that I've been at, I look to see what that superintendent made, what you as taxpayers paid that superintendent, and I take $20,000 less because I don't take benefits. So I'm not here to make a bunch of money. I didn't have to come here to make a bunch of money. I am here to serve, but I'm obviously not going to do it for free. Nor would you. So it's a great honor. I'm a Morgan County boy. I've been interim. I've been superintendent at Mooresville, been interim at Monrovia, now interim here. I don't think I'll go to Eminence because that's an E. I got 3 M's. I don't know if I want an E, but they're a great school too. We have great schools in Morgan County. And I would also tell you that I know very well Peggy Mayfield and Rod Bray, and I talk to them all the time. We have a very conservative legislature. They are not going to put into Indiana standards something that we don't believe in. So they're not going to do that. And I know that word's going out about all of this. They're not going to do that. I have faith in they will not. They're a conservative legislature. But if we have some problem somewhere, we need to know about it, and then we need to address it. But the Indiana standards does not have any of the stuff you're talking about. I can't remember what is it, CD something. It's not there. And we teach the Indiana standards as adopted by the conservative legislature of the state of Indiana. Okay. So thank you. I appreciate it. I only made 3 mistakes tonight. So next board meeting, I'm going to try to stick to 2. The next one, 1, and then maybe by October, I won't make any more mistakes. Not say Mooresville.
Yeah, personally, I'm not concerned with the number. I'm just concerned about that Mooresville comment. So that's just unacceptable. So.
You know what really bothers me? We bought a house 31 years ago out on Allison Road, and because of the growth in Mooresville, and I was superintendent during that growth, and what happened is that we got put in the Canby post office. So my address is Canby. No, I live in Mooresville. And so when we first got there, our insurance went up. I said, what in the world's going on? I said, well, you live in Marion County. I said, no, I live in Morgan County. Well, you're Canby. I said, we live in Morgan County. We're Mooresville, but we go to the Canby post office. I'll never get over that. It may be on my tombstone. I don't want to be, can be. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you, Dr. Roberson. Any board comments?
We're going to have the fair, the subject, MSD of Martinsville Sub Shop, featuring Chinese Italian subs. Proceeds will benefit PTO of Green Township and South Elementary Schools. And the dates are from Friday, July 30th through Saturday, August 7th. So we'd appreciate people coming by to get a sub and also help out PTOs both South and Green Township.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
I just wanted to remind everyone, I know the kids will hear a big ugh. First day of school, August 11th. It'll be here before we know it. And no one can deny we have some construction, and we've got kiddos driving for the first time to school this year. So just keep that road rage down just a little bit, because I'm with you on it sometimes. I'll admit it. But just be patient. August 11th, you're going to start to see the big yellow buses, and please adhere to all those regulations, or you don't want Dennis knocking on your door to tell you we've got you on camera. So just be patient and be aware of those kiddos, because they're going to be very excited for a normal school year. So I'm hoping they're extra excited. I'm going to piggyback off Matt. The Morgan County Fair is Friday, July 30th to Saturday, August 7th. The school will have two booths in the merchants tent, the district booth and the MCTA booth, which is Teachers Union. So you're going to have some faces there. If you have questions, if you want to just stop by and learn all about the district, go to the merchants tent. It's excited to have a fair. I always love what's for dinner that week, because it's always what tent are we going to. Last, this is such a great event. I am so happy that it's back, although it has a new name. Lift Up School Supply Event. If you've been here for the last few years, you know that this is the Backpack Attack. It's at Hoosier Harvest Church. Thank you so much to them for hosting this. It is Saturday, August the 7th at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. This is for all pre-K all the way to seniors. Come pick out a backpack, school supplies. There'll be vaccinations available. Kurt Bodell will be there if you have any food service questions. This is a really great event. Board members can also do this. I just will warn you, when those kiddos are there and you're standing in line with all the superstar principals and the kid gets with you, all you're going to hear is how awesome that principal was, and they're so excited. And then you're kind of like, oh, okay, do you want to go say hi? And but they are excited. You get to pass them through and watch them pick out backpacks and all the extra goodies. So again, thank you to all the donations for that, and Hoosier Harvest Church. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Michelle. Anyone else? Okay, just a couple upcoming dates, and some of these have just been stated, but July 28th, the 4-H students will be at the Morgan County Fair. As previously has been stated, July 31st, the Morgan County Fair officially begins. August 6th is Community Night here for our school district. It will be held along with the red-blue football game at Martinsville High School. It's a district grant committee that is organizing this community night and is facilitating the community night events to showcase our district's joy for education and to tour the new field house facility. As Michelle mentioned, backpacks are August 7th, August 9th, teachers report and staff, and August 11th, the first day for the students. And our next scheduled board meeting is set for August 19th. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned. Thanks everyone for attending.
I know Courtney's got stuff for us.